real fast, real fast. Come on, get that baseball arm moving.
Oh. Ok.
Okay.
Non c'è ketchup.
No. Già vedi, mi fa la foto.
Basta?
Sì.
Sono molto delicati.
Molto delicato. Grazie a lei.
Grazie Mariana, grazie a voi.
You know, my mother's favorite leftover sandwich. Come on, you're Italian. Isn't this beautiful? Look at how pretty this is. It's delicious. How do you like that? I think you're great. And now we're ready to do the twist. So, looks gorgeous, smells wonderful.
I use my hands.
I love this woman. Okay. Okay, Jacques, we've got to show everybody how easy it is to do fresh fish dishes.
Yes, and this is even easier than usual.
Okay.
I'm going to cook it directly on the plate that you serve it in.
That's perfect.
You want to give me a few drops of
Oil?
Few drops of oil on the plate.
Couple drops, that enough?
I'm putting a bit of salt on top of it.
Okay.
Rub that in salt.
Okay.
A second one. Those are about
4 ounces,
about
6?
4 ounces. They're about 1 inch thick. So
Yeah.
in my recipe, I think they are 3/4 of an inch. 20 minutes in the oven. So that may take a little longer.
Okay.
Can you open the door for me?
Yes.
And you don't have to worry about the plate at that temperature. It's
Any
okay.
plate's going to go in the oven at that temperature.
Yeah.
Okay. That's easy.
200, 250, that's it.
Okay,
we
that's
finished,
it.
we can go home now.
All right, yeah.
Get our glass of wine
Okay,
now.
while you're
We
pouring
finished
the
cooking.
wine, I'm going to put a little olive oil in a pan here, because while your tuna is cooking, what we want to do here, I'm going to do a very easy flounder dish that you stuff. So I put a little oil in a pan,
Okay.
and we're going to use pine nuts, because in Italian cooking, you know, they use a lot of pine.
Pignole.
Pignoli. Very good, Jacques. I'm going to put those in here. Why don't you stir those around?
Okay.
Stir those around till they're brown, and I'm going to go get my
The fish. Okay.
because I'm going to use flounder. And for those of you who don't know, flounder is in the flatfish family, right, Jacques?
Yes.
So there it is.
Wow, this is nice.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, so
You buy them just like this?
you buy, you know,
All
tell
cleaned
them,
up,
tell
yeah.
them how you recognize fresh fish.
Well, your nose first without any
Number
question.
one, okay.
And the look of it, how firm it is to how white. But yes, if a fish smell, by definition, you know, when you say something is fishy, forget it. It's no good. A
It's
good
no good.
fish will smell of the sea, smell of seaweed, it smell of the water, but nothing that we call fishy. You know?
And it's great. This is a good fish for stuffing because it's flat
Yeah.
and you can roll it. So we're going to be rolling these fish fillets
Yes.
up. So you can easily find flounder fillets anywhere in the store. This is the season for them right now anyway. So those are nice and fresh.
And this side is just under the skin, so you have
Yes.
that color, and that's what the nerve is. So when you roll them this way, right?
That's right.
So they tighten.
Pull it tight. And if you happen to put your finger over the fish and find a little bone, you can always pull it out with the tweezers. You taught me that. I remember when
did?
you were
Oh.
doing that with salmon once.
Yes.
I watched you and you said you use a tweezers to pull out any little bones that you might have. So I just want to get these fragrant, these pine nuts, and we're going to have some spinach. Here's some spinach. And all we did was take 16 ounces of spinach, wash the spinach leaves, and put it in a pot and just cooked it down without any additional water. So maybe what you can do is just chop that.
1 pound of spinach, you see what's left in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that really goes down.
you really
Do
wanna
you want it fine or just
No, just chop, just chopped.
chopped coarsely? Okay.
I'm going to take, now I can smell the pine nuts, so I'm going to take them out and put them in a bowl. So there they are. They're nice and brown. You got to watch those because you don't want that to burn. I'm going to turn this down now.
And you want your spinach in there?
I want my spinach in here. I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil in here.
Okay.
Jacques, okay, put that in.
This is French olive oil, right?
No,
Just kidding,
well,
just
no,
kidding.
no, no. Well,
Okay.
you know, French olive oil is wonderful, but this happens to be Italian olive oil. So in goes a little
I love
olive
Italian
oil.
olive oil.
And we're going to give this just a little bit of salt, a little salt, a pinch of salt, and I like to use some celery salt with this.
Oh, good.
So here's some celery salt. That
want some
goes
garlic?
in. I want some garlic.
You want it chopped?
I want it minced. Minced fine, because that's going to be part of the sauce. So you move the spinach around just for a few minutes, and then what I'm going to add to this, Jacques, is just a little heavy cream.
Oh,
I'm
good.
just going to put just about 2 tablespoons of heavy cream just to give that.
Julia would be proud of you.
Yeah, she would, to give this a little bit of richness.
Do you
And
want the garlic now?
Now, first we're going to let this sit in the pot. Now the
Okay.
garlic, I'm going to put in a different pot. So just a second, let me lower that. So we now have that, and let me move this over. So now, see how fast this is? I'm going to turn this on,
That's it.
and we're going to get that garlic soft in a little bit of oil again, just a bit of oil. So a little bit of olive oil in the pan. Let's get the garlic in, put the garlic in. And I'm just going to cook that down. Now, while I'm cooking that down, you can get your
scallops
scallops
here.
ready. Yeah.
The scallops that I have here are cured already. Those are heavy, what we call the large diver scallop, you know, quite large. And you can see on the side here, if there is that sinew here, you would want to remove it for that.
That's the
Now,
adductor muscle?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to remove that if you do a mousse because you make a puree, but if you serve it raw, as I am going to do,
This is why he's a
it's
master
going to
chef.
do,
Never waste a thing.
you know,
Okay.
so here, you cut that into 4 or 5 pieces, very thin.
So you really
slice
need these
like that.
big scallops. And these
Yes.
we should tell them that these scallops do not have any water added to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those
okay.
are more expensive, but
Yep.
they're really worth it.
Yes.
And thin like that, what we do is a little bit of salt
Yeah.
in the bottom, and I cure them. And this is going to be cured in 15, 20 minutes, not even.
Okay.
The
So,
time, so, you know, I did those ahead, I don't really have to.
So
We're
the-
going to serve that with a guacamole.
so the trick is to cut them in thin slices, right? So they
Yeah, that's
cure
it.
quickly. Okay.
And then a little bit of salt on top. You would want to put like a piece of plastic wrap on top, refrigerate it, and then that's it. They're ready to be served in no time at all. When you put
This
a
is so
plastic wrap,
easy.
I like to put it right on top of
Press
it, not
it down.
around, so that there is no air in between.
Okay.
So that's basically ready.
All right, so now that's ready. So I'm ready to add this cream. So I'm going to put
Okay.
I'm going to lower the heat and just add this cream, and I'm going to let this sauce just cook slowly for about 5 minutes.
Oh boy.
That's all I'm going to do to this. And that garlic flavors this cream
that
nicely.
smells good. I can smell
Doesn't
that
it smell
garlic
good?
here.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's tell people they should always use fresh garlic, right?
Is there anything else?
Garlic in a jar, but we're not talking about that. Okay,
no.
all right. So this is cooking down.
Life is too short to use garlic.
In a jar. Okay. All right, what's next now? You're going
I'm going to do a guacamole for the
Okay.
scallop. So, you know what you want to do is to cut your
Yeah.
avocado
Your
around like
avocado.
this. You know, then twist it.
Yes.
This you grab
Yeah,
it
and
this
out you
way
go.
through. I do a dish actually for my wife that I just put this on a plate like this. You know, with a little bit of mayonnaise and Tabasco and ketchup to dilute it, and I crush some tortilla on top, cilantro. That's it. First course.
Wow. No sweat, huh?
Yeah, this is.
Okay.
So here we'll do it. Maybe I'll do 2.
Okay. While
And,
you're doing that,
When you buy them at the market, be sure they are about ripe.
Right.
Those are nice. You did a good job. You're getting me
we
ripe
got you the right,
avocado.
you know, when you have, your finger can just make a little indentation there. You really shouldn't put avocados in the refrigerator. Do you agree?
I
I
agree
don't keep
entirely.
them in the refrigerator.
Okay.
Okay. Now look, my spinach is ready. I can put it right here with those pine nuts. So I'm going to cool that down a little bit, Jacques,
Good.
before I get that into the fish. So now you've got some scallions.
Now I'll wait for you to help me here.
Okay, let me just mix this so this is all well blended. And I like the pine nuts in this because it's a nice little crunch
Yeah,
with the fish.
I like pine nuts anyway with
The other,
anything.
you could also, if you wanted to make this a little bit Sicilian, I would add some raisins to this.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Very good, yeah. All right, so that can sit until it's cool enough. What do you need me to help you mash?
So yeah, a little bit, and I
Okay.
will add some lemon juice.
Okay,
I have my very clean finger.
okay.
I'm going to add a little bit of scallion in there.
I love avocados. There's a lot of fat in avocados, but it's good fat.
Yes. Yeah, if you're eating a lot of avocado, you'll probably die in good health. So
So true.
I'm going to put a piece of poblano here. You know what I do?
Is it real hot? No?
No, not very hot.
I
You have
trust
to
him.
test it because sometimes
Okay, let me get
it
a
just
piece.
blow your mind, and
Oh,
sometimes it's really mild.
Yeah, it's not hot at all.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so we put a little bit
Yeah,
of this in
that's-
there.
that's a mild
If you don't
one.
have it, it's too mild. I'm going to put some Tabasco.
Okay, a little Tabasco. This is
Okay.
good. Mm-hmm.
You need salt in there.
Uh-huh. All right.
What else? A little bit of onion.
You want to give it a little taste? Let's give it a little taste. You know, when I watch you cook, you know what what impresses me about you? You are a master technician.
Thank you.
You are the master of technique.
After 55 years in the kitchen, it's taking seed.
Delicious.
A little bit of tomato for color.
Okay.
See, I saw the other day the Italian, you know, Ferran, the Italian, the Spanish, they take this here to serve by itself, like a gelatin thing, you know.
That's a good idea.
And that's really good.
Waste
you know,
not,
so-
want not. I think both in French and Italian cooking, that's the philosophy, right?
Yes,
You never
so-
waste anything.
Well, basically all over the world, you know,
Mm-hmm.
people are dying of hunger. So it's only in our country here that we waste a lot of food.
The
really.
things that we used to think of as foods that were not worth cooking with are now appearing on menus as gourmet foods, are they not? yeah.
Whoop.
Hey, thanks,
Un
Jacques.
peu of garlic.
There you go.
Okay.
So now a little garlic goes in this?
Yeah, take the end of it, crush it to remove the
Okay.
skin here. Maybe half of that will be enough.
It
you know.
tastes really good.
You crush it and
This would be good with tortilla chips.
oh yes, this is what we're going to put on top.
Uh-huh, okay.
And the garlic.
And
that's
the
it.
garlic. And that's it.
You can leave it a bit chunky and
Okay.
it's good.
I like the
chunky.
texture.
So
All
this
right.
is
We ready for the fish fillet?
I'm going to check
Okay. Okay, you check
my
that.
tuna. Oh, he's doing
While
fine.
he's checking that, I'm going to get my bake pan ready. Now, for the fillets, we're going to cook these at high heat. You know, Jacques is just heating that tuna up at 200 degrees. But for this dish, I want to cook the fish at a fairly high temperature, 425 degrees, for a short period of time, about 10 minutes, I would say. So I'm going to just brush a pan with a little bit of olive oil, and then Jacques,
Yeah.
this is how this goes. Let's
You-
get it.
and I have those
Yeah,
that are
okay,
extra.
take one. Take the fish,
Uh-huh.
this side up. And here's one for you.
Okay.
And we take some of this mixture. I like to use my hands, Jacques, you know, it's a lot easier.
Well, this is the
Okay,
best
all right.
equipment
Okay.
in the kitchen.
You never get to know what food is really like unless you use your fingers. This is how I say.
Yeah,
So
you
now
have
I
to-
spread.
Oh,
Spread,
that's good. Looks
spread it
good.
on. You do that one. Spread some on. We have enough here for 4. And then I roll.
You roll starting at the tail or at the head?
It doesn't matter. I roll starting at the
So-
head,
so
so it's nice and
At
fluffy.
the head also.
Yeah, okay. And put it right in the bake dish.
Okay. look
Okay.
at that.
Whoops, let me turn this down so that I got that all ready now. All right, here's another one for you.
Okay.
And one from now. Would you eat this? You would eat this if you came to my house?
Are you kidding?
Okay, all right.
I'm
so
going to eat it later.
we're
when
going to make
when we finish the show.
we're
eh?
going to make this really, really rich because we're going to add that cream as
Yeah, you need a
our.
little more
I need
here.
a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to roll those
Ah,
up
le
again.
pignole.
Look at how easy this is. So simple. This is a great company dish. Took no time at all. If you start with really fresh ingredients, you
Yep.
are all set. So you want to
Okay.
wash your hands?
I'll clean
Okay.
up the table.
All
See,
right,
I was
good.
well
I
trained
love
at
having
home.
him in my kitchen.
Yeah,
All
my
right,
my
now-
wife trained me well, I tell you.
She did. Now a little bit of olive oil over the top of the fish, a little bit of sea salt over the top, a little pepper. Later on we'll add some lemon juice. Those are all ready to go. So they're into a 425 degree oven. So in they go. Okay, Jacques, what's next?
What's next?
Yep.
We're moving too fast
We're
here.
moving quickly. So we need
Yes.
to, you need to
Well, I can finish the scallop.
Yep, got to finish the scallops, and then you have to check on the tuna. And my cream sauce is all ready, so I'm going to shut that off.
So there, you know, the scallop, I cut it into 5 pieces. So one of those large so-called...
So you're basically eating this almost raw.
No, it is raw.
Yeah.
It's a ceviche, you know?
Yeah, and people will say, well, wait, shouldn't we be cooking the scallops? And if they're very, very fresh scallops,
I mean, you know,
don't have to.
eat, when you go to a Japanese restaurant, you don't
Right,
ask anything.
exactly.
You know? Sushi, sashimi, so...
But I think there are some people who have it in their mindset that they need to have all fish cooked.
Well,
While you're doing that, I'm going to pour you a little wine.
that's a good idea.
How about a Pinot Grigio from the Venezia region?
Venezia,
Okay, because we need a little.
Now we're talking, you
Oh,
know?
I love having Jacques in the kitchen. I never get to drink wine unless he's here. Okay, there's a glass for you, glass for me.
Well,
chin chin. Okay,
for you.
chin chin. Okay.
yes. People always ask me, you cook with wine? I said yes.
Of course. And
I have
any
it right
wine,
in my hand.
any wine you cook with, any wine you drink, you can cook with, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's finish this.
Okay.
So we take some of this wonderful guacamole. Wow.
In the center of it, yeah.
This I would eat this. This is lovely. This is so springy looking.
So on top of this, you know, we'll put a little bit of a tortilla there, or what do you call those Dorito,
Tortilla
you know?
chips, huh?
Those Dorito.
You don't find those in Italian cooking, but that's okay.
You don't even find it in French cooking.
It's just an innovation, right?
Some cilantro,
Some cilantro, okay.
you know, a little bit of your beautiful olive oil
Olive
here
oil over the top.
from Italy, yeah.
Uh-huh. Wow.
I mean, you know,
That's delicious. It's perfect. Ah, that's beautiful.
the crudo, you know, your
the crudo. Sì,
yeah,
sì,
sì.
sì. Un piatto crudo. That's
Un
right.
piatto
Okay,
crudo.
un piatto crudo.
That's
All
it.
right. Now, what are we going to have with the
maybe
tuna?
we put a little bit of that on top.
Are we going to have something with the tuna?
Yes, I have to do a sauce, but
Okay.
see, first maybe I'll do a little bit of this to put on top here, a little bit of a julienne,
Okay.
you know.
Over the top. That would be good. Yeah.
Here, since we are, the skin, you know, has more flavor than the juice.
Ah.
That's where all of the essential
Oils are.
you know?
Yes. Uh-huh. Okay.
I mean, so maybe I'll put a couple of
pretty.
this around.
Beautiful.
Always add more than what you have in the recipe. You see, when you do this here, you take only the yellow part of it.
Yes.
There is no white part, otherwise that's bitter. If you take that part here,
You've got everything in the bitterness.
yes.
Yeah.
But this, you know, can I use your stove?
Sure.
Look at that.
Okay.
Is that on?
Yeah.
Okay, here. You see, if you press on this, you see the essential oil
Yes.
coming out of it?
Wow.
And this
Doesn't
is-
this burn your fingers?
No, this is where you really have the taste of the essential
Wow.
oil, you know, in there.
That
And
That
this has more taste than
was
the juice.
Olympic cooking. Okay.
Yes.
That's.
Okay,
I'm going to try that at home. Don't you try that.
let me check on my
Okay. You go to the tuna and see what's
tuna.
doing.
My tuna is doing fine.
It is?
You know what's
Okay.
interesting in this? You'll get it out of the oven, it looks that it's not cooked. Because usually if you put a piece of tuna or salmon or something really hot, it changes color, it becomes gray, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, it cooks so slowly, it doesn't really change color. And it's the same color right through.
Right through the whole thing.
Also,
Okay.
depending how, you know, how sweet you like it or,
Okay.
I mean, how cooked you like it. So
What
we
can
do
I do?
a bit of a sauce with that. This
Okay.
is regular, what do you call?
This is salsa.
Salsa, yes, regular salsa.
Okay.
So we can put a little bit of juice in there.
Okay. You want a little
On the
bit of
salsa.
lemon juice?
No, lime juice, here
Lime
be good.
juice you
I'm
want.
going to cut
Okay.
a tomato.
Yeah. Okay. Lime juice. All right.
We can put it directly in there.
Yeah.
That would
Okay.
be good.
Little lime juice goes in.
I
Yeah.
put a little bit of
What else?
that onion here. This is a
Okay.
mild onion.
Yeah.
If the onion is strong, you know what you have to do?
Put it in water.
Yeah, you wash it because the compound of sulfuric acid is really what stings your eyes and discolor the onion. But it's water soluble. So if you chop an onion, put it in a sieve and put it under the water for for a few seconds, then that will remove that compound of sulfuric acid.
I always wear my glasses when I cut onions, but that's a great idea.
Okay, this here.
Okay, all right. So
Tomato.
a tomato. This is going to be the sauce for
Yeah.
the tuna. Okay, good.
And then we need maybe I'll put a couple of chives in it,
Okay,
and maybe a couple of
good. This is the time of the year for good chives from the garden, right?
all over the place. I have
Yeah.
them in my garden, and they
Yeah.
come into flowers, you know.
Yes.
What
yeah.
you have to do is to cut those flowers, and then they come again. Then you cut them again. Then they come again. Then you cut them again. Then they don't come anymore.
Okay.
Otherwise, the whole thing get tough.
Yeah. Now you've got black olives, and these
Yes.
are oil cured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to remove the pit.
Okay. Pits out. Yeah.
That's it.
This is good for the fingernails because your fingers get black after you do
Yes.
oil cure. But you know, people use those olives in a jar. It's terrible stuff. They should use real
This is
olives, not olives in a brine.
All
You know,
cured is
from
really nice,
canned
yes.
olives are awful. Okay, go
I
ahead.
agree with you.
All right. Okay, that looks good.
All right.
All
I'm
right,
gonna go
go
get the fish.
Get the fish. I'll mix this up. Is it cooked?
Yep.
Okay, all ready? All right, good. Okay,
Look at that.
beautiful.
I mean, it's hot. Now, we're going to put the sauce on top, but I wanted to show you that even before that, you know, it doesn't really look that it's cooked, but, you know, the inside will be just nice and pink.
Yeah.
You see, just the way you would want to have it.
Not overcooked.
Okay, we put that here back.
All righty.
That's it.
And now some of this delicious sauce over the top. Wow.
Cover it a little
Look
bit.
at how fast this is. This is wonderful. And you could actually make this sauce ahead of time, right, Jacques?
Oh, a couple of
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ahead at least.
Okay,
Okay,
one
maybe
for you.
chives on top.
A few little chives
Yeah,
on top.
okay.
Those plates are hot.
Yeah, the plates are
And the
hot.
nice thing about this is then they come to the table hot.
That's
the
it.
dish stays hot.
You know that it will be hot at the table for your guests.
Okay, put that there. So you've
it.
made two beautiful dishes. The other one's about to come out of the oven. So there you have it. Quick, easy fish dishes from the master.
Here is the master. Can I taste it now?
Sure. Jacques, a little Pinot Grigio never hurt anyone.
Della Venezia.
Alla Venezia. Okay, why don't we tell them what you made today?
Well, this is a very easy tuna steak. You can do it with salmon or any other fish. It's cooked directly on the plate that you serve it on because it's cooked at low temperature. 200, 225, 250 won't hurt your plate. You put it directly and serve it, and the sauce is up to you. In that case, we had some black olive, we have tomato, we have olive oil, a bit of onions. So it's a very fresh type of sauce.
Fabulous. That's a great tasting dish. And
Yes.
then you did this.
And the raw scallop, and you cure it with salt with one large, diverse scallop per person, sliced into 4 or 5 thin slices, a bit of salt on each side, it cure in like 10 minutes. And then guacamole we put in the center, a bit of olive oil on the outside, a crushed Dorito, some cilantro. It's a real Italian dish.
A real Italian dish, and good for summertime, a wonderful
Yes.
dish. And then we made this quick baked flounder dish that we stuffed with the
sounds
spinach
great. Yeah.
and the pine nuts, a little bit of the celery salt. And then we made this quick sauce with heavy cream and garlic. And I think that is just perfect over this fish. Well, Jacques, you may come to my kitchen anytime.
Oh, I'll be sharing food and wine for you anytime too.
Okay, and until I see you nella cucina again, I'm Mary Ann Esposito.
And I'm Jacques Pépin.
Ciao.
Happy cooking.
At the end of a long day, in Deruta, you have to make a decision because this is a town of ceramiche, ceramics, beautiful ceramics. You can find them in all kinds of designs, from the very Renaissance looking ones to very modern looking ones. And of course the colors are so rich and deep. And Deruta is the capital in Umbria for getting ceramics. So there is street after street after street of these beautiful works of art, all hand painted. And it's just that you have to make a decision. Non è facile.